Здравствуйте, товарищи, and welcome back to another episode of our glorious Workers and Resources Soviet Republic Let's Play. I am, as always, super excited for this session as we continue to make progress on this beautiful, beautiful city. And this beautiful city, and that beautiful city all the way up over there as well. There is so much going on, there's lots to do. Today's session is probably primarily going to focus on a little bit of reworking of our oil infrastructure. There were quite a few warnings in the comments of the previous session and in the Discord as well. Again, link to that is in the description down below for more like kind of in-depth conversation and back and forth about this kind of stuff. But there was a lot of feedback with regards to what I'd set up and how it may or may not work, so we will spend some time reworking it to make sure it is, you know, oh god, to make sure it'll flow smoothly, because oil flows, when the time comes to actually activate it all. Apart from that, though, apart from, you know, sort of adjusting our planned oil infrastructure, I'm also going to hopefully see the completion of more of our iron and steel infrastructure all the way down south, you know, just outside of Uprisinggrad, and we might also take a look at more adjustments to our food production across the river as well, just to see if we're able to maintain, you know, some degree of normalcy when it comes to feeding the people. Now, there has been a great suggestion as well that maybe I just purchase some food to kick things off a little bit, just to get a bit of a surplus going, get us that little bit of a, you know, push, some momentum to get things going, and then it's all, you know, well, I want to say downhill, not in the sense of its problems, but downhill in the sense of we gather momentum, we start with that momentum, and then that takes us, you know, to a smooth situation, to smooth circumstances, hopefully. So that's actually not a terrible idea at all. That's a great suggestion. And I've been sort of hesitant to do that because I've wanted to kind of get out of this hole we've dug ourselves for the longest time, but I think it is maybe necessary to just inject a little bit of momentum. Now, right now, the warehouse is looking okay. It's got 12 tons of food. 12 tons of food means, you know, one batch for each of the shopping centers we've got, but of course there is the large shopping center which would eat up all of it depending on where the first truck goes. The other thing is I might want to actually make an adjustment with regards to the trucks. Again, I've mentioned this basically every episode since we put the distribution office down. Maybe it's time to actually take that leap and put another small distribution office down over here or something like that that only handles, you know, localized deliveries. I think that's the way to go because right now there's too much wastage going on. And I'll explain what I mean in just a moment, but I do think we will get, I think we'll get this down over here. And I actually quite like how close I can put it as well. It feels nice and densely packed. It's in the right area, easy access to all of the you know, input points or output points or however you want to, you know, term them. But sure, so let's go ahead and get this going. And I might even just allow our own people to construct it rather than pay for it. Auto build is off. Let's go ahead and get you down over here. I want to make sure this is lined up nicely. So again, the thinking here, just to be clear, is... Come on now. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? I had you in green. All right, let's go ahead and flatten this a bit more. There we go. The thinking here is that we will use the large distribution office, or sorry, the medium distribution office, to pull resources from Train Rexky back to the warehouse and the meat storage, and then the small distribution office will have just the small trucks that'll be used to distribute the goods from here outwards. This medium distribution office was maybe a bit of overkill as a result of me thinking the game will understand how to approach things with regards to distribution from, you know, beginning from end to end, basically. But as I kind of expected or was worried about, that's not the case. The game is, in my honest and humble opinion, not assigning the right trucks for the right job. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's actually significantly more efficient than I think. But I feel like this little bit of manual work is necessary. Now, okay, I'm going to check real quick to make sure there are no roads that will automatically build if I click the auto build button. I also want to make sure I cancel a lot of my track work. In fact, let's go ahead and do that right off the bat. Let's go ahead and hit play, actually, so we can let time proceed. I want to see construction progress over here. I want to cancel these tracks. I'm just double checking myself over here. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. And the pipes themselves are commissioned, but they're not being built, so I don't have to worry about them being auto-built, because there will be a fair bit of reworking over here, but hopefully it won't take too long. Now, the tracks over here can probably stay as they are for the most part. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this connection. I think will do the trick for me. Because I like this overall layout, but we might not hook up to this shared section over here. Or we might keep it as is. Let me go ahead and remove this connection for now. I should be able to easily redo it if I actually do like it. I just want to make sure I don't accidentally auto-build stuff. It's something that I have done in the past, and it is a painful situation to be in. I don't want that to happen again. Are we able to connect? Yeah, we'd have to like flatten a bit, but I think we will be able to connect over here. Let me just check. Yeah. So we'll be fine if and when the time comes to hook up to that line. Cool. This is all fine, but this is what we'd maybe like to change. See, the thing is, it's been pointed out to me with a lot more force now. When I say force, I mean with a lot more, I guess it's been made crystal clear to me, more so than before, just how much of a bad idea this bridge is. So I want to adjust that as well. But anyway, let's go ahead and hit play first, and then I'll get bridge. I keep calling it a bridge. I'll get rid of this tunnel. But yes, let's hit play. 10 million rubles, so we're looking good over there. Population, unemployment is at... Hey, that's not bad. That's actually not bad. We've actually sustained sub 3K unemployment. And that'll only get better over time, right? But let's keep an eye on that. Hopefully it will get better over time. And education actually isn't bad either. Yeah, it's on its way down, it looks like, looking at the chart over the course of this year. Alright, cool. Cool. That feels pretty good. That feels pretty good. Let's go ahead and buy some food, then we'll hit play. And I need to connect this as well. There's so much going on. My apologies, folks. There's so much going on. So let's go ahead and first off, build the road connection for our distribution office over here. I believe we can just go ahead and... Well, let's plan it out first. I want to make a clean connection over here. And then we'll go ahead and just auto-build the upgraded road. Let the construction offices get this done themselves. I could put this over here as a part of this loop, because they need to go over here to pick stuff up anyway. Doesn't make much of a difference. Let's see. Aesthetically as well as functionally, right? I'd like to, if possible, go right down the middle over here. Something like that. Yeah. There we go. I think that's nicer. So let's go ahead and upgrade that. Auto build this section. Cancel the auto build. Now we can hit play, and construction offices should also auto assign to that. Cool. We're looking good. 15th of September. Money will hopefully... It'll fluctuate a little bit as we continue to struggle ever so slightly with our steel circumstances, but I feel like we'll bounce back in no time. Hopefully. Hopefully. And iron's coming through okay. It is very much the fact that the mechanical components factory... Oh, okay, we're topped up now. Now we're seeing steel get stored up over here. Okay, good. Good stuff, good stuff. Do we have a jam over here? We do, don't we? Wild, we haven't had a jam here in a very long time. This train honestly feels very useless to me. I'll be completely honest. Every time I've checked on it, it's been empty. I wish it would give you stats on how profitable a train or a truck or whatever has been. But yeah, all this train has caused us lately is jamming, which you know, obviously doesn't help anybody. But actually, in some ways, it does help because this train has been stuck over here, not picking up mechanical components as a result of that jamming. And actually seeing it want boards tells me that I need to put down some trees as well. Where are we? Fine. I'll put some trees down over here. This place is barren of trees. It used to be so densely packed. And not just down here, but also all the way down by Zavodsk. Look at that. Look at that massive empty space over here. Gotta reforest, man. There we go. Cool. That ought to do the trick. Cool. So, back up over here. Want to make sure this is assigned to construction offices. It is indeed. So hopefully that'll get done. And as that's happening, I guess we get down here to get more food. How much, you know, I mean, geez. I'm gonna give it one more session where I don't do that. I went looking for the meat storage and I came to the babies at the kindergarten instead. That's not what I meant. I honestly feel like I need to buy meat before I need to buy food. What's the deal here? Livestock's being picked up fine. These trucks are coming through okay. Decent crop bill over there. Yeah, we're good over here. Not enough livestock over here, but in comes the train right now with 7 tons. How quickly does that 7 tons get turned into meat? Like immediately, right? And it gets turned into 3 tons. Again, we're still suffering from the delay at the end of last session or so, right? Which is why things are a little not great over here. But we'll see. We'll see what's up. We'll see what's up. 7 tons gets turned basically right away. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to this as well. I want to, again, give our dual distribution office a chance to prove itself before we pretend to know that it doesn't work. I just want to see it first. All right, so let's go ahead and cancel the tunnel. Called it a tunnel this time. Yeah, so it was basically, it's been mentioned a couple of times that, like, this tunnel approach is going to be super expensive and probably not worth it. And by expensive, I obviously mean either money or resources and time. Oh, there we go. Like, why am I not? There we go. Didn't notice a little pink dot there. But yeah, so for the longest time, I was like, no, it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. And then last session in the comments, it was brought up again, and I was like, okay, maybe, you know, when people stress something like this, that there's obviously some serious concern, and I shouldn't put that aside. This is why I always say, it's like, leave a comment if you have feedback, because I do pay attention to it. It does influence my decisions. And I realized, I remembered how long it took for this tunnel to be built. And I don't want that kind of slowdown to happen. On top of that, it was pointed out that having this buffer zone over here will really cramp Uprising Grad's style as it expands, and it was also pointed out that tunnels typically are the last resort as far as real-world infrastructure is concerned as well. It's not the ideal solution, and I think that's one of the things that really got me to buy into this go around the mountain thing, because even though it'll be a longer path, it will take less time to make, and in terms of controlling movement, it'll be, you know, better for us. Now, on that note as well, I think what we'll be doing is vehicles and steel and things like that, we might actually truck up north. Realistically speaking, we're not going to need train loads of cars to be brought up to Reworking Grad. At one point, we'll have too many cars if we keep doing that, right? Like stocked up at Reworking Grad. So instead, I think going with trucks makes a lot more sense. And the other thing is we should be processing all of our oil byproducts down over here so that we have to ship less across. And even though we have the processing services over here, the chemical plant and the plastics factory, I might actually be better off replacing these two with another food factory and making Train Rexky a food production hub and allowing south of Viraw to become our oil and oil byproduct hub, and then we can put all those things into shipping packages, like using that new tool we have, literal shipping packages, right, containers, and then train them over and pull them across, because again, we have the container and vehicle harbor over here, right? So I feel like that's going to be our best way to go about it. Vehicles, steel is taken by truck up to Reworking Grad. Oil byproducts are produced over here, taken by train through containers, and then fuel, of course, we do need to ship across, because fuel we'll need to distribute at all the gas stations and things like that. Let me know your thoughts about that. That's what I'm thinking right now. Obviously, there'll be some time before we get there, so there is time to make adjustments to that if necessary, but that's the plan as it sits right now. That's the plan as it sits right now. Let's go ahead and figure this out here. We have to go all the way around this. There's no going through the mountains, I don't think. We might be able to find a winding path somewhere over here. The only reason I'd prefer a winding path up in this area is because, well, why would I? I don't want to cut through Uprising Grad, right? Like maybe, oh geez, go all the way up to there. That'd be too far. Going to the river is way too far away. That was one of the suggestions, is to go all the way to the river and then go parallel to it. That's way too far away, I would say. I think we're better off, well, let's see, Uprising Grad, probably go up to over here. And then down over here. Let's aim for that. And then we'll have other cities and stuff in the area. So let's aim for that. I think that'll be sufficient. But time will tell, right? Time will tell. Go ahead and flatten this a little bit. There we go. Again, just want to make sure we give enough of a clearance for the growth of Uprising Grad, but also not so much that a train adds, 20 minutes to its journey to deliver steel where needed. Or not steel, but oil and whatnot where needed. Yeah, I think we go a little bit wider than this. Let's go ahead further down this way. I wish there were angle constraints so I could say no, stay completely straight over here. Do not curve even slightly. Make me a lot more comfortable about putting some of these parts down. There we go. Also, the train comes out. I'm actually fine with this shared element over here because, again, even if we have to bring steel and vehicles up by train, we will. I think we'll see minimal conflict over here. It's a small shared section. Again, let me know if y'all feel differently, but I feel like it'll be fine. I feel like it'll be fine there. So this is about the extents I think that I want Uprising Grad to get to. Makes it a nice major city, I think. And then it clears the mountains over here. We go a little bit further, actually. Go a little bit further, sure. Just nix this. Come on now. Where's my split? There it is. Get rid of that, because what I want to do is maybe rotate it a bit harder, I guess. So, find this spot over here that I want to push through. So flatten all that. There we go. Just putting my target down so I can do that. Excellent. That actually works out quite nicely. About exactly the shape that I was hoping for. Love it when that works out. There we go. There we go. That's much better. Much cleaner. And then we can rotate around this little piece over here. Too steep of a descent, it says. So that's fine. We'll just pull out a little bit further. It's actually wild. I mean, this might end up being even more time-consuming than the tunnel. But the other benefit of this approach is that Uprising Grad does not need that wide buffer zone to be believable. And it is more believable. Go ahead and make this a nice... I could make it a gradual... Go all the way around like this. Obviously not. But man, the distance here is wild. The distance here is wild. I would like this to be a straight piece of track over here as well. Are we able to? No, this will need a tunnel as well. Let's see what we can do over here. Let's see what we can do over here. If we can clear this mountain with a winding path rather than having to go around it. Though then again, at that point, we're so close, might as well go around it, right? This might actually be pretty good over here. Alright, you know what? It's also cool. Like a nice mountain pass is always cool. I think I'll need some light before I can continue this. But yeah, we'll go all the way around. That gives us a wide berth of Uprising Grad. Again, it'll take a little bit longer for our trains to get from point A to point B, but I think it'll have other benefits that will make a world of difference. Money is looking okay still. I mean, we're below our 10 that we started the session with, but we're still alright. Unemployment, roughly where it was earlier. What's the deal up over here? Construction is proceeding as required. Good stuff, good stuff. Resources needed, 13 tons of steel. Okay, this is great. I'm very happy to see that steel is being stockpiled a little bit. What's the deal over here? Is this train stuck then? It is. Oh, I see. This train was not able to get out. Well, that slight delay might actually benefit us significantly. I do think it's time to retire this clothing train. I don't think it does much for us. Loads are brought down here via truck, are they not? Yeah. They're brought down here by a truck, 2 tons at a time. Man, 2 tons of clothes is worth a lot of money. Honestly, part of me wonders if I should, yeah, see, we've got trucks that come through here to export clothes. I feel like that train should be retired. It's causing us nothing but issues. And when I say it should be retired, I mean we can repurpose it, right? Like 101 tons of clothes. Have we ever been that topped up? I don't think so. I don't think so. I say we retire this train, and we don't have to worry about it anymore. It's not a permanent fix. It's a band-aid solution, but it's a band-aid solution I'll accept for now. Alright, the livestock farm over here is topped up. The grain storage over here could use some more grain to store. Otherwise, we're going to start having problems again. What's the deal up over here? Missing crops, eh? Oh, this train is stuck over here as well. No, it's not. It's moving. Alright, good stuff. Carrying students back. You're carrying some students back too. This isn't too much of a delay or anything. I'm not too worried about that. In comes some crops. I wish I'd checked how many crops I was bringing through. Now, the thing is, honestly, I might actually want to... Hang on, why are we backed up on fabric over here, operating without issues? Alright, fair enough. I mean, we're doing well, I would say, over here. This is going pretty well for us. But I'm actually tempted to... I guess we need crops over here as well. I'm tempted to get rid of the chemical plant. Because what do these chemicals bring us, really? I guess we're exporting some of them. Small aggregate storage. This is bringing gravel over here. I guess the chemicals, right, they get turned into plastics. And the plastics get exported, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And 1.9 tons makes us about 10k. Ah, it's not bad money. Not bad money, but is it worth the struggle of, you know, food shortages? I think the answer to that is pretty simple. I think the other thing is, like, waiting on harvests is, I don't want to call it a problem, but it's a relatively consistent cycle of having and not having food. What's going on over here? Oh, you guys are moving, right? Yep. This thing is loading up now. Yep, I believe these are all probably full. Oh, you're not. This stuff bothers me when the distribution offices send trucks that are empty to a location. Why? Why? Just why? Are these guys getting harvested? No. Almost ready to harvest. See, that's just it. It's like we're close on a lot of these fields, while these ones are being harvested, yes. It's a matter of trying to get them to stagger properly, I guess. What's the deal down over here? You're emptied. You're supposed to be waiting over here to load, aren't you? At least I'd like you to. I think I'd like you to. Some of them are waiting to load, so that's fine by me. It slows things down a little bit, but it doesn't cause any traffic jams up over here, which is important. See, 19 tons of crops when this train comes through, or not this train, but the other train comes through, is not going to be good enough. Alright, well, we'll keep an eye on it. Sun's back up. I should be working down over here. Distribute my responsibilities appropriately, right? Yeah, alright, cool. Let's do this. I'm like second-guessing the... that suggestion about going right by the riverside. My worry with that is that it is a very, very, very long distance to the riverside, and we might eventually develop to the riverside, but I feel like this isn't the reason to do it, maybe. Alright, so if we go up like so. Flatten the train there, right? Smooth that out nicely. Again, we're so far away from interfering with Uprising Grad or its, you know, satellite cities even at this point. Like, we have given it a wide berth. I think we'll be fine. Not too steep of a descent is being registered somewhere. Right at the beginning. It's probably over here, it seems. Alright. Not a problem. We'll, like, you know, blow the side of this mountain up a little bit. Hopefully it'll do the trick. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Again, these are industrial constructions, right? This isn't any rural train side building. This is a serious industrial construction. So blowing up the side of a mountain to make it happen is not strange or unheard of or anything like that. Too steep of a descent. Let's go ahead and flatten things a little bit just as we go along. Allows us to take this further, I think. Yeah, there we go. Too steep of a descent again. Just got to keep flattening over here. Come on now. There we go. I'd like to have things be less lumpy. Though it is accurate. I mean, train tracks often you'll have this little like mound that the tracks sit on. I like to try and avoid that as much as possible, if possible. Or smooth it out as much as possible. because that way, again, we'll be able to, you know, do road crossings and stuff when the time comes. Now, with that said, I am going to try and chase after more, what's the word, bridges. This was brought up in the comments before as well, and I thought I started doing a better job of it, but, you know, not a good enough better job of it. But I need to get more bridges so that we are just not causing traffic issues in either direction. Because what happens, I mean, again, right, up at Trainwreckski, what happened last session is these guys all got stuck in because of a train problem, and then that became a much bigger than just a train problem, right? So I need to be very wary of that. This thing is being built, yeah. Again, I'm not going to force its construction because we're, I think, doing okay. Oof, food over here is empty. Doing okay, he says. Food is empty, he says. That's obviously that's a problem from elsewhere. All right, let's go ahead and buy some food. Let's do it. Like, how bad is it going to be, right? We're at 9 million rubles. We're okay. I don't want to auto purchase. I want to do a manual purchase one time. Let's go ahead and get ourselves, what, 40 tons of food? That'll last us, oh my god. It's actually a fair bit of money. It's fine. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. Yes, 40 tons of food should last us a fair bit of time. I could even go all the way up to 60 tons. Now, let's stick with 40 tons of food, because I want to buy some meat as well, I think. Go ahead and purchase that one time, right? I couldn't do 60 tons. It would be over our limit. Let's go ahead and get some meat down over here as well. Again, this is just to give us a bit of a jump start. I say, let's go with 24 tons of meat. Actually, let's go with 30 tons of meat. Nice round number. Okay, manual purchase. Done. Done. So this will, I mean, very quickly, a lot of this food will be eaten right up because people will flock to the markets to make up for all the days of starvation. So, you know, that's a thing, obviously, and these trucks are going to come through to distribute to the shopping centers. But we'll get to a point where things normalize. We hit our little, like, medium sort of comfortable sitting area where there's meat everywhere, there's food everywhere, and there is a bit of a surplus that will continually see more deliveries from our food production areas. That's my hope over there. All right, so now over here, what have we got going on? We've got the train tracks down over to here. These tracks will need to bend, oops, around this way, which won't be a problem. I'm fairly certain we'll be more than okay here. Maybe something like that. Honestly, at this point, I have to wonder, it's like, why not just go around this way? What good does this little cutaway do us, apart from, you know, look pretty interesting? Actually, I like that. I like that. It saves a little bit of distance. Maybe I could actually make this a bit more efficient with just a little bit more mountain blasting. If not, then we'll go back to what it was. But yeah, see, we can do this. Let's go ahead and nix you and you as well. Go ahead and pull you through. So pull you down this way. There we go. There we go. Just make it a straight line, right? Like, why curve? Still get the same effect of blasting through the mountains, but it's also a straight line. Shortest distance between 2 points is probably the best thing for our trains. Cool. And then, of course, the oil and plastics and all that stuff that we're going to export, we'll probably pull down to Molna from up over here. It's not that far away. In fact, it's closer than Vetserinkograd. It's closer than the docks, even. So, that's a whole different thing that we don't have to concern ourselves with right now. But I'm feeling a lot better about this. The unfortunate thing is all the change I have to make up over here. I'll get to that in a second, right after I check on the circumstances of these tracks. I do want to build this all, obviously, for our vehicle construction. Are we done all the track work over here? We are indeed. Okay, interesting. So in that case, I need to go ahead and connect these tracks up so these can get built as well. I think it's time we do that then. All right. God, I hate that if I hit the commission button, it'll commission everything. All right, let's leave it be for now. It's not an urgent rush because, again, this is going to take a long time. And before the tracks up to here matter, this all needs to be built as well, right? Let's not forget. So I'm not going to commission these tracks. I don't want to commission these tracks just yet. I want to make sure everything's working smoothly first. I want to hear your thoughts as well. So if you have any thoughts on this, let me know. And again, I really don't think this is going to be that much of a problem. And if it becomes that much of a problem and I have to eat my words, we can very easily cut this a little bit shorter and make this a 4-track and have it go along the same path, make only slight adjustments, and connect in the same way. So I think I'm comfortable with that level of risk, if we can call it that. Now, the problem over here is probably something I'm going to want to deal with when the sun comes back up. But the problem over here is that many of you pointed out, well, a couple of things. For one, the pumping stations, they evidently do work how I intend them to work or how I expect them to work, but unfortunately, they are very inconsistent and very reliant on the, AI, so to speak, knowing exactly what to do and when. And as good as it can be at times, sometimes it is abhorrent, right? And we want to avoid that reliance. It's also been pointed out that the cargo harbor and the fuel connection at the cargo harbor is only for refueling our ships. It's not for loading fuel to deliver, anywhere else. So we actually need a pumping harbor over here. So that'll need some adjusting as well, hopefully not too much. So yeah, we're going to rework a lot of this. We're going to have this connect as well, because we do want to supply fuel without having to buy it, right? So we will have to rework a lot of this. Let's wait until the sun comes back up for that to happen. And in the meanwhile, let's just take a quick peek over here and see if we're okay. Already down to 21 tons of food. Fast. And the meat, 25 tons, all right. Man, we really gotta deliver food more frequently. I mean, there's distance to cover, right? There's just distance to cover. I think once our new distribution office is done, though, it'll be a lot smoother. Because we'll separate who brings food from Trainwreckski and who delivers it around. This is unfortunately too tight for me to build a bridge at. Getting us up and over. I could try it. Let's wait until this bus arrives, and then I could try building a bridge over here. Because it would save us a lot of trouble. Now we've paused. I don't think it'll work. I don't think it'll work. Go ahead and cancel all this. This will be pretty expensive to build as well. We can't delete right now. Because I guess this truck is probably going down that way. No. Gotta keep trying. Is that bus gonna go down this way? Possibly, yeah. Alright, wait for that bus to go by. I wish you could interrupt that, because sometimes, like, you have a crowded road and it's always gonna be busy. I don't want to build a bypass only to delete this road. Still nothing. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. There's like nothing nearby. That bus is going that way. There's nothing over here. Come on. I mean, hopefully. If it doesn't let me, then... Again, I don't feel like I can fit a bridge here anyway. I can try nudging one over to the side a little bit. There's literally nothing coming here. There's literally nothing coming here right now. Alright, fine. Let's just experiment a bit to the side over here. If I were to build you. Angle's too tight. Crossing not allowed, obviously too low. I mean, I could do something like this. Or we pull up from a lot further. Crossing not allowed, obviously. This angle. Yeah, we can't go too far back either, let's not forget. And this will be hard to put roads down or tracks down anyway. Crossing not allowed, yeah. See, I just don't think there's enough room over here. And that's why I want to be very wary of that in the future as I try to avoid these kinds of issues. Angle's too sharp, obviously. Yeah, that's not gonna fly. It's not gonna fly. Way too tight. Way too tightly packed. And this road can't really curve all that further or anything. It's not the worst. I think I'm overthinking it. It's really not the worst. It's not as bad as I'm painting it out to be. What's the deal over here? 23 tons of crops. Come on, guys. Pick up the pace. Pick up the pace. All right, back over here. So, I almost feel like I just gotta demolish everything over here, really. Let's go ahead and do that. I think it'll be a lot easier if I just go ahead and do that. We can keep this as is. So the train comes through, drops off it's got 2 pipelines. So the other thing that was suggested again is to not take just oil across, just to take fuel and bitumen across and then distribute that, you know, where needed. So we only need the 2 outputs as well. And that's the other thing. So I don't want this pumping station. I'll get rid of the road later. Do want 2 storages. Right. Yeah. Get rid of you. Because we'll want this space over here for our dock. Get rid of you, get rid of all of you. Alright, so we've got 1 connection that we'll make. Another connection, I just want to check to make sure these are the right kinds of connections, I guess. Like the right direction of flow. Get rid of this connection over here. We've got that connection over there. Alright, so this one has to be fuel. And this one can be bitumen. That should do the trick. Okay, so let's just quickly check if we go to infrastructure. It's actually a much quicker fix than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot more of a pain. So yeah, the train comes through. Fuel gets sent here. Bitumen gets sent here. And then where's the out from this? It goes out that way. Oh, this needs to be rotated then. Alright, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. So this needs to be rotated like, what, so I suppose? Yeah, we've got an output up there and an output down here. Yeah, that sounds good to me. We'll do... Let's get rid of this. We can auto-connect to that as well. I like the auto-connecting. It's so helpful. There we go. We want to do something like that. Nice and easy. Then the pipes over here. I wonder how densely packed we can get. Cancel all of this. Yep. Cool, cool, cool. Cool. Now this will help us... Actually, we don't even need this pumping station, do we? Because the fuel can go directly from here to the dock. No, do not demolish that building. Oh, God. Heart attack. All right. Cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at our pumping dock. Again, it's pretty pumping harbor. I keep saying dock. Pretty small one. Like, we should be able to fit it over here. Gonna build... Yeah, I just need to adjust the terrain a little bit. Go ahead and straighten this line over here. And if we can align it, it'll be quite nice, I think. I think this will look pretty cool as well. Now, I actually like, so it was pointed out, like, how many types of harbors do you need? I kind of like that, if I'm completely honest, because it makes the whole thing a lot more modular. Like, you can adjust your approach, and you can adjust the look of your, harbor a little bit to make one giant harbor. I think it's pretty cool. I'm always a fan of that kind of modular construction, giving you that custom... that sense of customization, because right now, like, take a look at this. Once we get this down, just want to pull it down a little bit more. Just a little bit, literally just a touch more. I'd love it if I could do that. Yes, there we go. Beautiful. That's what I want. So I've got my pipe connections, and I've got my power connection. Yeah, beautiful. Cool. But yeah, look at that. That's, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's just rather grand, isn't it? And then on the other side, we've got, similar but different. I just think it's neat. And we've got this over here. And if we can get something else over here that looks similar or works in a similar way, I think it'd be pretty neat. Anyway, but back on task over here, let's take a look at our pipe construction. So we've got... What I want to do here is actually cancel this pipe construction, because I want this to go up over here. I want to find the neatest way to do that. Go ahead and pull this like so. The way the pipe connections work is really weird to me. In terms of the angles that it wants to hold. Yeah, see, like, that's such a weird... Anyway. I guess that works. I guess that works, actually. It's probably pretty efficient. And I want to do this as well. Hill causing obstruction. Gotta lift it a little bit, I suppose. Or I could flatten the train here. Which is probably the smarter choice. Yeah, let's just drop it a little bit. A little train, height from center. There we go. Just drop that a little bit, and that'll do the trick for us. And the road connection should not be a problem either. Go ahead and put you up over there. Beautiful. 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 So, what do we got going on? We've got... Our train comes through. Again, hopefully through here, right? Bitumen goes over here. And gets pumped out over here. Oil. Sorry, fuel. I keep saying oil. Fuel comes over here. Gets pushed to here to actually help fuel our ships. Oh, that's not clean. I'm going to clean that up. And then also gets pushed over here to ship across the river. Export, again, I think we'll do down south. I don't think export will take place up over here. Just doesn't make sense to me to ship it this far when there's a much closer connection. But that's my opinion, at least. There we go. This is pretty good. I do need to check my roads, though. I do need to check my road. So we can cancel this road over here. We can go ahead and actually, oh, you know what? I can. I don't know why I would, but I can. So let's. This connection, again, we'd have to raise the fuel line there. Or the fuel line over here. We don't really need to, so you know what? Let's not. We can, but we shouldn't. We can, but we shouldn't. All right, cool. There we go. So, we've got this thing connected. We've got this thing connected. We need to connect this one. I wonder if we can't. No, we can't. All right, sure. So, easy enough of a fix. This needs to go out as well. So, we'll need to adjust the piping over here, actually. Just got to raise it a touch, right? Just got to raise it a touch. So, let's go ahead and clear this space out over here. Maybe a little bit more. And we'll need to clear this space out over here as well. So, let's go ahead and trash all that. Sure. The road goes across, well, again, just to keep it clean. Get rid of that, there we go. Make it a nice sharp turn, beautiful. Got to clear this area out as well. Oh, come on, give me the pipes. I have to go over here. There we go. Again, these are pretty easily made higher and lower, which is really nice. Pull you straight out. Pull you straight up over here. Let's see if we do that, and then that. While you can go up over there. Need to pull this back a little bit, perhaps. You can go up over there, and you can come around over here. Yeah, that makes sense. Got all these connected. This doesn't need to be connected over here. I see no reason to do it. We'll have this connection over here or over here when the time comes to pull this all together. Over here, sorry, or over here, or maybe both. Cool. So, back to the pipes. Go ahead and raise you up. And bring you back down as well, right? Raise you up and bring you back down. Down over here. Go ahead and raise you up. I need to pull this back a little bit. There we go. Raise you up. Keep it going a little bit. There we go. That's pretty clean. That's pretty clean. Got a little, like, pumping going on over there. Yeah, that's, I think that's gonna do the trick. There you have it. That's actually a much quicker and cleaner fix than I was anticipating. I'm quite happy with that. And it looks quite clean as well, I would say. So, that's good. Down over here, now I guess, again, we'll wait until the sun rises once more. We actually have to put down our rigs and stuff. While the sun's setting, though, let's take a quick peek at what's going on over here. We've got our iron mine. Got another iron mine. We've got all 3 of our iron mines done. That's pretty great. All right, fantastic. So now, hopefully, we are working on all of these processing plants. Construction stop. We're lacking steel over here. Man, I really got to bring steel down. Really got to bring steel down. Let's go ahead and move. I assume we're missing steel down over here. I might be mistaken, but... I mean, we've got plenty of it, but, you know. Gonna run out eventually anyway. And that ship was basically full anyway as well. So I guess it's being shipped over slowly but surely. A lot of construction offices assigned. In some ways, I almost feel like... Yeah, see, here's my problem with this. See, we've got all these workers over here, where they don't have the materials they need. Whereas over here, where they do have the materials they need, these workers weren't delivered. And it's those little things that, like, I wish the game was better at discerning, I suppose. But yeah, it's only a bit of a problem. Only a bit of a problem. But it is a problem. What's the problem over here? You're stuck in because you're trying to go home, eh? This is obviously not good. Or the customs house. Oh, I guess what happened was it suddenly jumped and turned. Yeesh. I wonder our economy is where it is right now. You know, I'm actually going to take these... no joke, I'm going to take these delays as blessings in disguise, because now we're topped up over here. We're topped up over here. And again, it's creating that surplus now, which I think will prevent any issues in the long run. Yes, it slowed our economy down momentarily, but our economy is fine. I mean, I don't have billions of rubles, but I have enough to, you know, cover me for the next... quite a while. I do want to check the circumstances over here. Look at that, we're out of food. We're out of food already. Wow. Wow. We're missing boards, eh? We've got access to them, so it's just a matter of bringing those boards down. Hopefully there's a construction office out there that's actually working on it. You don't need to be working on these pipes. Hang on. Hang on a second. What's going on over here? Oh no. I didn't notice I made this road connection. Okay. It's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and cancel that. Wow. Because we've got our loading and unloading. That's fine. What we'll probably want to do, though, is have a separate one. I mean, this side of the river might be fine. I'm glad these things didn't start getting built, though. Yeah, like, I'll need to get rid of this, perhaps. Let's see. Well, we've canceled this construction now, so that's fine. But let's see, what do we need to do over here? The oil and bitumen, right? So, you probably get rid of... yeah, they only have the one input. I guess we need one for oil and one for bitumen. Though I guess here the pumping station makes sense to me. Because the truck comes through, loads like 8 tons, and then moves on. Right? Here the pumping station makes sense to me. Up over here, I mean. But we don't want this one, because we don't want 3 storages. Now, unfortunately, this one has already seen some action, so I don't want to destroy this pointlessly. That's fine. Let's get rid of this one, then. Though, then I have this pumping station over here. Alright, fine. Let's go ahead and get rid of this one, then. And what we'll do is, yeah, let's demolish that building. Demolish this building. Glad I noticed that. Glad I checked. I don't know what drove me to check, but I'm glad something did. I'm glad something did. Go ahead and demolish you too. Alright, so that connection over here, this is bringing, let's say, bitumen, fuel, all that comes through the pumping station to the truck that wants it. That makes sense, right? That should be fine. It becomes a problem with things like, you go up there. Ah, sure. Needlessly long, I think, but not waste those resources, right? Not waste those resources. There we go. Nix all this. Should be able to... Yeah, there we go. Much cleaner. Jeez, I'm glad I noticed that before it was too late. Right, so here we need to make this connection and that connection. But yeah, so the plan here is fuel, bitumen, goes up into the pumping, and then the trucks, they come through, and depending on what they need, it comes through. That makes sense to me. And this is also an easy fix if that's not how it works. This would have been a much more complicated fix if we built all of this and then that wasn't how it worked. So I think we're cool over here. Yeesh, I hope so. Oil, and bitumen. Alright, fuel, bitumen, gets loaded up. Thanks to these pipes. Yep, and yep. Also gets used to refuel our ships. And then all that gets shipped across up to here. And then the fuel goes here. The bitumen goes here. Truck comes through, picks up as needed. Goes on its merry way. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. Now, I do wonder, actually, if I don't want to flip this around, get fuel over here, and then supply fuel over here, too. Just as a means of refueling our ship at 2 spots rather than 1. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. And that way we don't need to import fuel nearly as much. Again, that's kind of the whole point of this, is to sustain ourselves without needing to rely on our neighbors or anything like that. Could have sworn we had the option of getting out of here. There we go. Let's see if we can't. Yeah, it's too sharp. Alright. There we go. Let's do that. Cool. Cool. Yeah, okay, so this will be fuel. Doesn't matter which is which, but that's going to work out, I think, quite well for us. Good stuff. Steel has been delivered, I should hope. Yeah, steel and bricks all delivered. You're carrying what? Bricks. Way too many bricks. We have way too many bricks. I might actually do the little fix up there sooner rather than later. Again, just to pump our economy up a notch, right? Don't need it urgently, but why not do it if the option is there sooner rather than later? Alright, do we need to really buy more food? Or do I need to buy more crop? All these trucks, all these empty trucks. Alright, I keep distracting myself with that. Back down over here. Distracting myself with the food struggles of our people. Oof. I just want to get back to it later. I kind of want to get focused over here. So, we've got our tracks over here. Again, all the fuel processing should happen over here. Right. All the fuel processing should happen over here. So, for example, the oil refinery has how many inputs? It has 2 inputs, 1, 2, 3, 4 outputs. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and put the rigs down first, because the rigs are limited by what's available nearby, right? By the quality of the source and whatnot. And the source does go pretty far out. Like, we have access to oil all the way over here. And like I was looking at the other day, you know, a handful of sessions ago, there is quite a hefty requirement of oil. One down up over here as well. Low quality sources, but they're sources nonetheless. Sure. I want to try and keep this at least somewhat organized, right? If possible. Let's go ahead and put you down over here. On our first oil rig. Put you down. We can do the overlap, but I don't think that's a good idea. Wasted potential, right? Going down over here. Come on now. There we go. And put one down over here. Again, not the best sources, I know, but they're sources nonetheless. We don't need workers over here. We just need the rigs. Like, we don't have to actually bring workers down to obtain the oil. So why not take advantage of it? It's minimal construction resources, as you can see. So, might as well, right? Might as well. And we want to make sure we are occupying, we're not overlapping spaces. Do a lot of that over here. I want to make sure we avoid the radius. There we go. Approximately over here. Pop you down. Pop you down over here. That was a straight line over here. There we go. A little bit of an overlap. There we go. Not a fan of actually where that's placed. Yeah. Just line that up a little bit nicer. Close enough. I'm not going to be super particular about this if I can avoid it. Even though I realize I just was. This one I feel like we should put... There's like decent quality available over here. Again, doesn't need workers, doesn't need minimal construction materials, right? So fine, let's go ahead and do that. Put you down over here. Cool. All of these will push oil out. Bit more available over here that we might, I don't want to waste. I hate even suggesting that term. I'll put you down over here. Again, a bit of overlap, but not the end of the world. I'll put you down over here. We want to be very wary, of course, as well, of the plastics and stuff that need to be shipped up to our vehicle construction area, right? We need to get a train track down over here. We want to make sure there's room enough for it to come through and spread out as needed. We will also need to get power distribution happening down over here, so we'll need to switch and stuff. But that's we'll do that later. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, this stuff should be just easy money for me, honestly. This is all like poor quality. Here's where the black gold really is, right down over here. Now, do I want to collect it all? They collect in threes, right? So one is what we'll do basically is get the pumping station, which of course is in infrastructure. Obviously, it's kept separate. 3 to 1, right? We'll do stuff like this where, boom. Actually works out quite nicely. Oh, come on. Come on, you know you want to connect. Fine. Do this. Like so. Checking auto build wasn't on. Connect the pipe like so. Again, preferably, we'll have some clean connections here. And again, the angle snapping would have gone a long way for us right now. I would have loved it. There we go. Do that, right? And we get another 3 to 1. Well, like up over here, perhaps, or all the way up over here. Again, pipes, they are expensive to build. That's the limiting factor over here. Put this up over here instead. Or up over here. There's options. Got you guys coming over here. Get that fuel collected again. Let's see if we do this. Right, like 1. Get you down there. Get you up over here. So now we've got all the fuel over here. Then from there, we want to go potentially over here. Right, let's try this. Let's try flattening, or don't even need to flatten. Cool. Still causing obstruction. Weird. Like separately it allows me to go, but together it does not. Funny. There we go. That. We'll get this down over here. Still causing obstruction. Oh, come on. What hill? Out. Get you over. Alright, cool. I mean, geez, this is gonna get expensive, isn't it? Like, how much? Oh, you know what? It's not that bad. Because we'll be trying to construct most of it ourselves, right? We'll be trying to build most of it ourselves. So if this is 48 tons of steel, I mean, yes, it'll be a lot of steel, but it's not the end of the world. We have a lot of steel. Our steel manufacturing, by the time this is happening, our steel production up over here should be up and running as well, potentially. Quite possibly. But yeah, so that's kind of what we'll want to do. So like now, a bunch of oil is coming through here. And we'll probably want to like store it. Like this will be like a junction point. Our actual like manufacturing or processing, if you will probably happen on this side of the road. Let me wait until the sun comes back up and then I'll kind of outline what my thinking is down over here. But I feel like that'll work pretty well. How are we doing down over here meanwhile? Passengers or rather workers are coming through. The unfortunate reality is that we are backed up on coal until steel is up and running. If I'm not mistaken, we are shipping some coal up to here, right? I believe I've already set that up. And we're topped up on coal. In fact, let me just check one thing real quick. If we take a look at our imports last month, really, no coal. Are you kidding me? This is our import last month? No way. No way. As the sun rises, this is pretty interesting. No way. What about September? There we go. If we broaden things a little bit, some construction materials, a little bit of bitumen. Yeah. If we consider the year as a whole, there's more import, but like coal has been stopped for a very long time now. Crops we're trying to minimize, but we might not be able to. Electronic components only when we're doing construction. Concrete, gravel, asphalt, bricks, boards. All this stuff is only when we're doing construction. Bitumen recently needed some food, of course, the big purchase. I mean, yikes! This is actually, we're doing a lot better than I thought. Though this tells a different story. And that's primarily because our exports have been slowed down a little bit, I think, lately. But we'll manage that. We'll balance that in no time. We'll balance that out in no time. Yeah, I think it's about time maybe that we do that. I know there's a hack to do it, and hopefully the pathing updates as well. But I think it's about time we do that. Now, yeah, so, okay. Right, what I was going to explain is, my plan is, if this road is the divider, then down over here are our oil fields. This is where all the oil will get, acquired. Sure, I guess that's the word. This is where all the oil will get acquired. And it'll be, yes, Primo Oil. I might actually want to keep that name the way it is. So all the oil gets collected over here. We'll have our little storage vats or whatever up around these parts for oil. Right? And then across the road is where I'm thinking we will process that oil into fuel and into bitumen. And then into plastics. And the plastics will need to be taken by train up over here so that our electronics assembly hall, let me just check over here, I keep forgetting where, I think it's other industry, which is such a weird category, various industry. Yeah, our electronics components factory and our electronics assembly hall both need plastics, which will be stored in the warehouse up over here, taken by this road cargo station to the electronics assembly hall and the electronics component factory. Right, so plastics need to be brought up over here. So, okay, here, what we'll probably do is put a plastics factory down over here. Let's see. Various industry, plastics factory. Right, like down over here. Road connection up there. We'll have to put a bus or something down over here, like a bus stop. This is just temporary for me to plan with. This is not a permanent placement. Got a plastics factory up over here. We'd have our, Yeah, I'm fine with doing electrics, like electronics up over there. That's fine by me. We'll have to ship from there to get the radios and stuff across, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. So, okay, we've got you over here. We want to get... What else was it? The chemical plant. We'll have to find a way to bring gravel and wood down over here. Going to be interesting trying to do all this as efficiently as possible. And the oil refinery, of course, as well, to make fuel. And I mean, we could also just make asphalt down over here to ship it, but I think I'd rather ship bitumen. Right, so we've got a plastics factory, oil refinery. Jeez, this is a big one, isn't it? That's a big one. And then the chemical plant itself as well, also pretty small. Alright, let's go ahead and put you down over here. Just, again, this is temporary planning. This is temporary planning. Do something like that. I want to make sure our factory connections can all connect to like a train or a road cargo station or whatever it might be. I want to make sure there's room for that. Also trying to get better at not making everything so tightly packed all the time, which, I mean, I know is a problem of mine. Put you down like so, let's say. Again, this stuff is notably not permanent. And the oil refinery. This is kind of like more, think of it as a way of me to remind myself where I'm going to put things down. Yeah, we'll need more power up over here. I mean, I might put this down somewhere over here as well, or even all the way over here. But we'll sort that out afterwards, I think. I also want to remind myself that the plastics factory should be most over here. Get the train station down somewhere over here. It'll be a cargo station, right? We have room for that. That's great. Load up cargo as needed. Take the plastics out there. Take, you know, the containers. I gotta make a container as well. Jeez, they're adding so many, like, they're adding so many features, fresh features that, like, I need to keep up with those features at all times. Whereas the it also doesn't help that I don't quite agree with how sometimes they're categorized. I believe it's in warehouses, right? Yeah. Container loading facility. Now, container loading facilities need workers as well. We can load the containers over here for plastics as well as... we'll figure this out. I'm overcomplicating this conversation right now. My point being, all the fuel is gathered over here. It is all processed up over here. Plastics are taken up over here for processing. And that's it. I don't think plastics need to be taken up over there, if I'm completely honest, unless we want to do electronics assembly up over there. We'll think about that. And then we've got, of course, the chemicals as well that need to be used, if I'm not mistaken, to make plastics, right? Where are we? Plastics factory. Needs chemicals, yes, and oil, yes. So that's the connection over here. Those chemicals will either ship out or whatever it might be. And then we've got our actual oil to fuel refinery. Geez, that's going to be a big undertaking, but it's an exciting undertaking. Down over here, it looks like some of these ore processing plants are getting completed as well. So this is, again, just more exciting times over here. And it's so cool seeing these cranes working in tandem. It's so cool. These cranes just, like, building away. We're making some good progress, I would say. It's, oh god. It's been a relatively smooth process. Jeez, that's a long shot. A long shot. But yes, a smooth process. For the most part, I would say. A little bit of adjusting here and there, but once these are done, right, then we can start looking at shipping iron down. We can look at constructing the steel mill as well. We can look at getting workers down over here as well. And that's going to be interesting. Once that starts, things are going to get really interesting down over here as unemployment will hopefully drop. All right, exciting times. Now the food situation is still a situation, unfortunately. Wow, I was really hoping that that's, you know, relatively small food injection would be a bit of a solution. It's helped our meat situation, but the food situation, yikes, right? Yikes. We'll get there, folks. We will get there. All in good time. Maybe I need to do another massive import of food, just a little bit bigger. Maybe I just need a bigger runway, right? Crops are being stored up now. It's harvest season up over there, while these guys are still growing, so they'll hopefully harvest offset, and that should be good for us. We'll see. There's momentum to catch. We just got to catch it. Folks, this is, however, where we're going to call it a session. I hope you enjoyed this one as we've cleaned up our... I mean, this is going to be epic. I'm looking forward to this a lot. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this session. Let me know your thoughts about, you know, any issues you feel like there might be with the planned infrastructure we have and the planned approach we have. I feel like we're on a pretty solid footing and with a pretty solid plan to move forward with. But as always, I'm open to your thoughts, suggestions, feedback, opinions in the comments down below. So don't forget to leave them. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. You keep us alive and running smoothly. And a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, до свидания.